What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, Philadelphia Eagles fans? This your boy TK the Official, and welcome back to another episode of TK Sports Talk, where we talk about the NFL, but more importantly, we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, man. How y'all feeling out there, man? The Philadelphia Eagles took the worst loss of the season. There's only been 2 losses, man. I just want to start the video out by putting things in perspective, all right? The Philadelphia Eagles lost a game to the Jets and where we had 4 turnovers, similar to the games that we had last year that we lost, all right? 4 turnovers in the 2 games last year that we lost to Dallas and that we lost to, who did we play? Washington. Okay, and then 4 turnovers in the game that we lost to the Jets, man. So this was our first real loss against the San Francisco 49ers. And if we could be real before we turn the page and get to this Dallas matchup that's coming up this Sunday, we can all be honest with ourselves, man. The Philadelphia Eagles have been living life on the edge, okay? We've been finding ways to win, and each week after week after week, players and coaches alike have come out and said that the Eagles just are not clicking on all cylinders. The Eagles are just not playing up to the standard. The Eagles are just not playing to the level that they can play to. And at a certain point in time, it catches up to you. Yeah, this Philadelphia Eagles team is good. And let's not take that for granted, okay? Let there be no doubt how good this Philadelphia Eagles team is, okay? But there are a lot of really good teams in the NFL, and the difference between winning and losing is razor thin. Okay, when you talk about a game of inches, it's really that much separation between some of these teams. And yeah, we like to make it the big thing, like how big is the gap between San Francisco and the Dallas Cowboys, or how big is the gap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions? Listen, the margin of victory is that much right there, okay? And coaching matters in this particular NFL, right? In this NFL league that we're in right here, okay? You see all across the board, look at a team like Indianapolis Colts, okay? If they didn't have Shane Steichen there, they would nowhere near be the type of team that they are right now. But you look at a team like what's happening down there in Carolina, and, I'm sorry to say, man, my man Frank Reich, you was good while you lasted with us, but when you ain't with us, when you haven't been with us, man, you've been terrible. You got fired from the Colts, and then you got fired from the Panthers, man. And within the span of 3 years, that's not good. And look how bad the Panthers are. You look at a team like the Houston Texans, okay? Everyone picked them to be a bottom dweller of the league again this year. They got a brand new coach in DeMeco Ryans, but DeMeco Ryans has gone in there and galvanized that team. Listen, I take no credit away from what C.J. Stroud is doing down there in Houston, okay? Because having a quarterback really makes a difference in how well your team can really play. But let's be honest, okay? The reason why the Texans are winning some of these games that they're winning this year is because of coaching. Okay, because of situational football, because of keeping the team together and understanding and providing a winning culture out there, all right? So just understand that it's hard to win games in this National Football League, man, okay? And so the Philadelphia Eagles, we've been living life on the edge, knowing each and every week that we have not been doing the things that we need to do in order to make sure that we win football games against good football teams, okay? And yes, we beat the Miami Dolphins, okay? Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles went out there and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles went out there and beat the Buffalo Bills, okay? Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles have beaten the Dallas Cowboys, okay? Yes, they beat the Rams. Yes, they beat the Vikings. Whomever else that they beat. But let's keep it real, okay? Some of these games that we've been playing in, they've been frustrating. Some of these games that we've been playing in had to have gone down to the end. Some of these games that we've been playing in, we've seen lack of a running game. We've seen bad play calling. We've seen poor defensive play. We've seen poor defensive coaching. Okay, but we still somehow been able to maintain and win games, and that's that championship DNA, that championship pedigree that we have. That's that dog mentality that Nick Sirianni has instilled in this team week after week, day after day. Next play, next play, next play. Okay. But we needed that. I've never been one to say that a team needed a loss, or I've never been one to really think that that there's such thing as a good loss. But let's just keep it a buck. The Philadelphia Eagles needed that slap in the face. They needed a dose of reality. All right. You ever heard the expression, you act like your shit don't stink? All right. The Philadelphia Eagles, we was acting like our shit didn't stink. All right. Let's be real. All right. Because you can learn a lot more from a loss than what you can from a victory. Because in a victory, you say, yeah, I know I could have did this a little bit better, but hey, Look, I still was good. We still won the game. This, that, and the third. It's not when you lose, it's like, oh my God, I got to fix this. Oh my God, we got to fix this because it cost us. All right. Now, it was to San Francisco. It was 42-20, 19, whatever the score is. Law losses count the same. The only people who are going to remember this is the people who talk in the media. When the players get on the football field, if we have to meet San Francisco again, it'll be a different story. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are getting ready to take on the Dallas Cowboys in what will be the game of the year. And I know you've heard that week after week after week, right? It seems like the Philadelphia Eagles are playing in the game of the year every single week. And that's just what it is when you're one of the top teams in the league and you play another top team. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the hottest tickets out there as far as the TV viewers go. Streaming, TV, the Philadelphia Eagles are what people want to see, all right? So we're going up against the Dallas Cowboys, man, for the second time this year. And is this a must-win game? All right? Let's just think about it. I feel like for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is an absolute must-win game. You worked hard all season to be able to put yourself in a spot to get yourself back to the Super Bowl. And the easiest way to the Super Bowl is the number 1 seed, a bye in the first round, and 2 home playoff games before you got to actually take that trip to Vegas and play in the Super Bowl. And that's what we fought for. All right. We knew it was going to come down to the last bit of the season. We knew we had a tough stretch. All right. And listen, let's be honest. Of the 6-game gauntlet that they threw out there that they said the Eagles was going to have to go through. Okay. Listen, the Eagles are 4-1. Excuse me, 3-1. Okay. We still got to play Dallas. We still got to play Seattle. Okay. But it was Dallas. It was Kansas City. It was Buffalo. It was San Fran, Dallas again, and then Seattle. All right. So 3-1 so far out of 4 games of that 6-game stretch with a game against Dallas and another game against Seattle. This game is huge, not only for the division implications, but this game is also huge for the number 1 seed. This is a must-win game because it'll feel like everything that we've done this season, all the hard-fought losses, the overtimes, all the games that we had to come back and win in the fourth quarter, all the pain and suffering that we've gone through to get us to this point, everything can just slip and fall through our fingers if the Philadelphia Eagles do not go out there on Sunday and take care of business. Now, it's a tall task, okay? The Dallas Cowboys, have been a very, very dominant team at home. All right. And as much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys, as much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys fans, as much as I want to say Dallas sucks, Dallas is pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie. Dallas is pretty damn good, and I don't care who they've been beating, okay? They have a propensity to put up points in a hurry and run a very high and efficient offense. Say what you want to say about Mike McCarthy, letting go of Kellen Moore and running the offense over there. Listen, the offense is humming. Okay, Dak knows where he's going with the ball. They have a nice mixture of running and pass, something that we used to have last year, something that we need to get back to. And we'll discuss that in our keys to the game coming up here, man. But this is an absolute must-win game against Dallas. You tripped up and lost against San Francisco. You need to stay ahead of San Francisco. So if you do got to see San Francisco, they got to come back to the link. All right. And forget what people saying about, San Francisco already came to the link and beat the Eagles down. They're not worried about coming back there again. Listen, let me tell you something. In the playoffs, when the game's on the line and everything matters and these two teams already played each other and we're already looking to see what was going on and fix some of the things, some of the mistakes that we made, because the mistakes that we made are correctable. All right. If you go back and watch the tape and really analyze the game, a lot of mistakes that we made are correctable. We could have been up 14-0. We wound up being up 6-0, and it cost us. OK, there's a couple other things that cost us that we can clean up and do better in. So we know what kind of team we are to face this team. I don't care what they say or what anybody say. The San Francisco 49ers do not want to travel all the way across the country to come back to Philadelphia. They much rather be in San Francisco playing their games. And it's imperative for the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. All right. Still, while the Eagles are still in control of their own destiny, if they lose this game to the Cowboys, they will not. All right. So let's talk about some of the keys to the game as I see it. Do y'all understand how serious or how much of an effect that it has not having Dallas Goedert in the football game? Okay, how much attention that you have to devote to Dallas Goedert, how much less attention that you can pay to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith that's out there, how much more space that it is for DeAndre Swift to run in between the tackles and also to come out of the backfield and catch a pass after Dallas Goedert has cleared out the middle of the zone. Okay, he is a prominent player. Dallas Goedert is, to me, on the same level as a Travis Kelce, as a Mark Andrews, as a what's my man name? George Kittle, okay, Evan Ingram, all right. Any of the top tight ends out here in the league, because Dallas Goedert is very good at running routes and he's very good at blocking. And when Dallas Goedert is in the game, you're not quite sure what you're going to get. You don't know if it's going to be a block, a running play. You don't know if it's going to be a passing play. But if it's a passing play, most linebackers can't keep up with him. Most safeties can't guard him. So what do? All right. You have to keep eyes on them. You have to devote attention to them. You have to delegate resources. And that's been something that the Philadelphia Eagles have been missing over these last couple of weeks, man. It's a correlation there. It's no coincidence that the Eagles have struggled without having Dallas Goedert in the game, that Brian Johnson has struggled trying to figure out and formulate a plan without having Dallas Goedert, because he's such a big key and pivotal piece of our offense that we just don't even realize, okay? So with that being said, let's get Dallas Goedert involved in this game. Okay, let's make sure that they know that they got to play honest. They can't cheat to AJ side. They can't cheat to Devontae Smith side. They got to play the game straight on up, man. All right. And hopefully they don't do any dirty shit like they did the last game that we played them, man. My man put my man Dallas Goedert arm in like a vice grip and then fell on that joint to make sure that he was going to have some type of injury, man. And, you know, I just think that hopefully my man don't get hurt this time and he's able to go out there and have a big game. But let's get Dallas Goedert going. Let's get Jalen Hurts some easy throws, okay? That's key number 2. Besides, let's get Dallas Goedert going quickly in this game, all right? Let's get Jalen Hurts in a rhythm. The last couple games, Jalen Hurts has been dropping back and just dropping back and just dropping back. Holding the ball, looking for the big play down the field, looking for the 15 yards, the 20 yards, the 30-yard pass, instead of taking the 5-yard check down, instead of taking the 5-yard comeback or the 7-yard comeback, okay? Or instead of taking the quick 8-yard out. And keeping the chains moving, all right? Sometimes it's just like, let's just let go. Let's just get rid of the ball, all right? Because the offensive line has been doing an outstanding job blocking for Jalen Hurts, even in the game against San Francisco, okay? How about this? San Francisco, 27 pressures on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts had the most time to throw the ball of any quarterback in the league last Sunday, okay? But the only reason why the San Francisco 49ers was getting pressures is because Jalen Hurts wasn't letting go of the ball. And that's something that I've noticed with Jalen Hurts this year. He's not as crisp with his reads as he was last year. And maybe that's a part of having Brian Johnson be the first year calling plays. And maybe that's also a part of having Brian Johnson in his first year calling plays and then not having Dallas Goedert and having to figure out how they want to go ahead and incorporate routes and call plays without having that key piece in the game, okay? Key number 3, run the damn ball. Okay, we got to run the ball. There's no way that a guy with the talent that DeAndre Swift has, that we are not utilizing his talent and getting him touches and allowing him to run the ball. One of the most explosive backs in the league this year. Okay, and mind you, my man didn't even really get a carry in the first game of the season, and he's not that far behind Christian McCaffrey, even though we still don't give him carries consistently game after game after game. Now, I know the Philadelphia Eagles have been worried about whether or not DeAndre Swift can stay healthy, all right, and they've been doing a great job in managing my man right here, but right now it's crunch time, okay? Right now it's time to define what kind of team we're going to be going into the season, okay? And we can't be going into the playoffs, and we can't be going into the playoffs, all right, with a full clip still. It's time to start emptying out this clip and making sure that we are a fine oiled machine and we know exactly how to do what we do, and we know what ammunition we need to put in there to make sure we can keep firing. All right. Sorry for the gun references, man, but that's just what it is. OK, run the ball. DeAndre Swift needs to touch the ball 20 times. OK, something like maybe 16 carries and 4 catches. Get that man involved in the game. It's going to open up and make everything else easier and make the reads a lot more defined for Jalen Hurts, okay? Because the defense going to have to show what they're in order to stop these players that you have, all right? But if they only got to focus on a certain amount of players because you only throwing the ball or utilizing a certain amount of players, you playing the game with one hand behind your back. It's the key. It's pretty much what you're doing, okay? Key number 4, all right? The Philadelphia Eagles need to play man defense. Cut the zone shit out, okay? Excuse my language, but the zone has been getting picked apart. I don't think the Eagles are very good in the zone. Some of these players don't carry their player that they're guarding through the zone, all right? Some of these players just get to a spot and stop, and the wide receivers just run to the spot in between them and stop. And guess what happens after that? Completion. All right. The pass rush can't get to Dak Prescott or any of these quarterbacks quick enough when they have easy reads and they're able to pick through a zone. All right. Listen, get up on the receiver, jam him a little bit, stay with him off the line, make Dak Prescott have to wait. Make any quarterback that we play have to wait that extra second to throw the ball to make sure that his receiver is coming open, or make a quarterback have to throw the ball early to try to throw his receiver open because the coverage is tight and he has to get rid of the ball. And hopefully that forces a mistake and we start getting some turnovers. We haven't gotten a lot of turnovers this year. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but one of the reasons that I think is because we play in this soft zone and teams know what we're in. All right, this is why these teams do this motion stuff. When teams motion, I know y'all know this, and some of y'all have heard this, and if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, when teams do motion, they do motion to try to figure out what the defense is in. Is the defense in man or is the defense in zone? And it's like, oh, the Eagles, they in zone again. All right, boom, we know exactly what we're doing. We know exactly where to go. I could let this ball go because I'm throwing into a spot. I'm throwing to a spot where I know there's a void in the defense where if my receiver can get there on time, he's going to be open. All right. And that's something that's plagued us, okay? So I feel like the Eagles need to play man defense, okay? And come out there, establish yourself and stop the run, and come out there and establish yourself with the run. Let's get Jalen Hurts going early with some quick rhythm passes, and let's get some passes to Dallas Goedert and get him in the game and get him back into the offense and make defenses have to worry about him again and have to start playing us a lot more honest, man. If we do those things in this game this Sunday, I think the Eagles are farewell, man. No prediction just yet. I'll probably have a prediction coming out on Sunday, man. But I do feel like the Eagles will go down there and win this game because I feel like the Eagles have been challenged for the first time all year. I feel like the Eagles have been tested. I feel like this is a chance that the Eagles have to finally answer who they are, who they're going to be. It's time for them to show us what they really made of, okay? Because that was a pretty devastating loss that we took to San Francisco. But, in fact, a much-needed loss, I do believe. I do believe it was a much-needed loss. Listen, man, the Philadelphia Eagles look to get back on the right side of things, man. Jalen Hurts hasn't lost back-to-back games, and since he's been in the league, I believe. All right, so let's see what's going on. All right, let's see what the Philadelphia Eagles have. This is going to be a big time matchup against the Dallas Cowboys, and it's not going to be one that the Eagles are just going to win easily, man. So strap up, man. All right, buckle up. It's going to be another long, rough, bumpy ride, man. This is your boy TK the Official, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of TK Sports Talk. I'm out. Go Birds.